What's going on, Alabama fans? The Crimson Tide take down Wisconsin in this game today, 42-10 in a game that, was a little bit weird. Tyler Van Dyke went down early in this game, so you're really going up against Wisconsin's backup quarterback. But you know what? At the end of the day, I thought it was a very, very good win for Alabama. A lot of positives to take away from in this game, and we'll touch on all of those during our reaction video right here, right now. But first, if you guys have not already, make sure you are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We had a really fun time during our watch party today, so we're going to do that every single game of the season. We will go live, so do not miss out. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. Some injury updates first off for you. Man, some big ones that you really did not want to happen, but probably comes at a good time right before the bye week and right before that Georgia game. Quay Roussey went down early in the game with what seemed to be an ankle injury anyways. It got rolled up by Devontae Smith trying to make a tackle. So it looked like he was in a lot of pain during that play when he was limping off the field. So not a very good look with Quay Russaw going off the field. But like I said, coming up before the bye week, probably the best time, if any, if something like this were to happen. Malachi Moore also left this game under concussion protocol, had kind of, helmet-to-helmet collision with, I believe it was Keon Sabb on that play. Both guys just going hard trying to make a tackle and end up just going helmet-to-helmet. Now, Kalen DeBoer, during his post-game press conference, sounded like it, wasn't that big of an issue. They just kind of wanted to take him out because, the game was kind of getting out of hand at that point. But, usually concussion-type things don't take, a long time to get over. Obviously, concussions are nothing to play with. We've seen, how that's kind of gone with Tua Tagovailoa in the NFL. But like I said, concussions, nothing to play with. But it does sound like just kind of the vibe from Kalen DeBoer that Malachi Moore will probably be good to go during Week 5 against Georgia. Richard Young also late in the game went down with a lower leg injury. It kind of looked like an ankle injury, but, don't really want to put, fact out there or anything like that. Just a lower leg injury, all we know right now for Richard Young, but, we'll see how that affects Alabama's run game in the future. Richard Young did not get in this game early on like he did in the first couple of games of the season. It was more, kind of, a late down, or not a late down, but a, cleanup role for Richard Young in this game. So, we'll see how it goes for him, but I thought Jalen Milroe looked really good. And we'll talk about Justice Haynes a little bit later in today's show. All right, my 5 takeaways. Number 1 here. Look, Jalen Milroe was very efficient in this game. At the end of the day, he did not, light up the stat sheets, only 196 yards passing, but he was 12 for 17. So very, very efficient for Jalen Milroe in this game. No interceptions, no turnovers for Jalen Milroe. So always something that, you want to see. You don't want to be turning the ball over. 2 more rushing touchdowns on the ground, 3 more through the air today. And look, he was 14 carries for 75 yards in this game. And I thought early on, Nick Sheridan did a very, very good job of getting Jalen Milroe the ball in designed run plays. That's something that I asked for a lot last year because, look, Jalen Milroe is a very, very good runner at the end of the day. He is still working on coming, together in, throwing the ball, which I thought he had some nice throws in this game as well. You had 1 touchdown throw to Ryan Williams. This kid is just absolutely phenomenal. Jeremy Bernard, right there, right before halftime, Alabama got the ball back and went like 74 yards in 2 plays. 1 really long throw to Ryan Williams. I think that one was his 47-yard long. And then a 26-yard pass to Jeremy Bernard for a touchdown. Also had another touchdown or a touchdown to Josh Cuevas in this game. Tight end that, transferred from Washington. Very excited about him and what he can bring to the table for Alabama as well. But look, I thought Jalen Milroe was pretty dang good in this game today. And the one that you guys have been waiting for, some Elijah Pritchett praise from me. Look, Elijah Pritchett looked really, really good in this game at right tackle. The one time that I called his name was, either the first or second drive of the game, there was it was a run play. I don't know if it was to Jalen Milroe or Justice Haynes. But it was off the right side, and Elijah Pritchett's guy was the one that made the tackle. But at the end of the day, that was the only time that I called Elijah Pritchett's name in this game. So look, thought he looked very good in pass protection as well. That was one of the things that I was very worried about, was Elijah Pritchett in pass protection. But man, he looked damn good in this game, and I'm very excited for Alabama to continue, figuring out who that right tackle is, because right now, I think Elijah Pritchett set himself up to go into this bye week being the starter for that game against Georgia in week 5. So the pinned comment of today's video, I want you guys to grade Elijah Pritchett's performance for me in today's game. Grade it A, B, C, D, or F. I think it's got to be a B+ if it's not an A. So let me know at the pinned comment of today's video. One big question mark I had in this game, though. Where the hell was Justice Haynes? We saw him early in the game, and it looks like they actually that was receiving. Justice Haynes had 3 receptions, but he only carried the ball 2 times for 17 yards in this game. 1 for 12 yards, 1 for 5 yards. So I don't know if they just thought, Jam Miller and Jalen Milroe were the hot hands in this game. But, it's one of those things that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out on and monitor, going forward. Because, look, Justice Haynes is definitely, one of your top 2 running backs. I think he's still, one of the best running backs in the country this year. And you're going to have to need him. He went off in the first game of the season, didn't do so well in the second game of the year. Jam Miller went off in that game. Jam Miller went off in this game, too. 9 carries for 71 yards, a whopping 7.9 yards per carry. That's absolutely ridiculous. And he also had that 34-yard touchdown run right up the middle for Jam Miller. So, big day again for Jam Miller and Jalen Milroe on the ground. But Justice Haynes, only 2 carries on the day for him today. He did get 3 receptions in this game for 16 yards, but man, Justice Haynes is very electric. I would like to see him more, in the run game, especially coming up against Georgia.
Guys, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor today. That is Game Time. Game Time is the only ticketing app that I use. Game Time even has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. The Game Time Picks filters out fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you guys do not have to waste time searching through thousands and thousands of tickets. Game Time Picks curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concert, comedy, theater, and so much more. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that you get to the start of the event. So if you're just hanging around Tuscaloosa for the before that Georgia game in a couple weeks, you can get tickets last minute on Game Time. Game Time has killer last minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest prices guaranteed. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. I don't know any ticketing app that does that. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Check out GameTime.co for last-minute tickets. Terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. That's CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. Takeaway number 4 here for Alabama's beatdown against Wisconsin. Look, you were better disciplined today, especially after that terrible game last week where you had 13 penalties. Look, you only had 4 penalties for 40 yards in this game, and definitely things that you can clean up. I thought there was a BS call against Zabian Brown for pass interference. There was also, on that same exact play, there was an offsides. I forget who exactly, Tim Smith maybe, jumped off sides, but they declined that penalty. Tyler Booker also had a false start, which I didn't see him false start, so I don't know if it was BS or not, but they did call it at the end of the day. So I can't remember the other 2 penalties, but look, you looked a whole lot better in the penalty aspect of today's game, and you're just going to have to keep getting better and getting better, but that is definitely a positive thing. To see that Alabama, came into this game on the road, a big-time game in a big-time
environment at Wisconsin. You didn't let the crowd get to you, and you were able to play relatively clean at the end of the day. Like I said, only 4 penalties for 40 yards in this game. Alabama's defense, also, we'll talk about them here in just a second. I thought it played absolutely phenomenal in this game. Some ups and downs for them, but at the end of the day, thought they played really good as well. So who was your MVP of today's game? Let me know right now in the comments section. I think you got, a couple different options. I don't think anybody stood out and went, absolutely bananas in this game, but definitely a couple options for MVP for this game for Alabama. So let me know in the comments section who you think should get the game ball for Alabama against Wisconsin. Takeaway number 5. Look, Alabama won the turnover battle today, and that's something very, very positive that you want to see again. Just being very, adamant about getting after the ball. At a couple times, Deontay Lawson ended up getting that strip fumble, which I think Zabian Brown recovered on that, and then Malachi Moore, I believe, was also the other strip fumble. So look, these guys are going into it being intentional with getting turnovers, and that is something that is definitely going to make Kane Womack extremely happy in this game. You also had a ball go off the face mask of Deontay Lawson. I think there was even another opportunity where Alabama could have had another interception. I don't remember if that was Jahad Campbell or Keon Sabb, one of those guys. But Keon Sabb definitely early in this game jumped a route, and man, the ball was in his hands, just went right through his hands. So some more opportunities that Alabama could have had for turnovers, but look, 2 fumbles at the end of the day recovered for Alabama and forced by Alabama. It's a very, very positive start. Like to see them, continue to win the turnover battles moving forward, for Alabama. And look, just kind of a overarching, statement about the defense. Look, with Wisconsin losing Tyler Van Dyke at the beginning of the game, the first drive of the game, that was really, really, tough for them, very unfortunate for them. Wisconsin had to really rely on the run game, and I thought they did pretty well, running the football at the end of the day. Braden Locke came in for Wisconsin, went 13 for 26, 125 yards passing and 1 touchdown. So, not the best game for him being a backup quarterback. So I think Alabama's DBs played pretty decent in this game. He did miss a wide open wide receiver that would have gone for a touchdown as well. So, still some things to clean up for those DBs. Wisconsin ran for 149 yards, which at times it was kind of crazy. It seemed like they were breaking off just run after run after run. But 149 yards on 41 carries, only 3.6 yards per carry. So, look, there were some times that it looked like Wisconsin really popped off when it came to running the ball, but at the end of the day, 41 carries for 149 yards. You can't really ask for much more from this defense. So, look, I thought Alabama played really, really good in this game. Still going to have to clean some stuff up, though, against, going into that game against Georgia in Week 5. But you do have the first bye week coming up for Alabama. And, look, they're going to have to take advantage of it. They're going to have to get a little bit more healthy because of those guys that we talked about that got banged up in this game. But, look, Alabama went in there against Wisconsin, rolled 42-10, a really solid game for the Crimson Tide, and one that – it's the first big game without Nick Saban as the head coach. So it was the first opportunity for them to go into an environment on the road and face some adversity. And I thought they did a really, really good job with that. But once again, Alabama wins this one 42-10 against Wisconsin.